The most dangerous thing that can happen to a new investor is not losing money right away. It is making money right away. Because if your first few investments go up, the market may teach you the wrong lesson. Not, I followed a good process, but I am good at this. Welcome to Grow with Tony. Simple money lessons for education only, not financial advice. A bull market can be exciting. It can help people start investing. It can reward patience. It can make long-term investors feel that their plan is finally working. So this video is not saying bull markets are bad. And it is not saying you should avoid investing just because prices are rising. The problem is more subtle than that. The biggest mistake new investors make in bull markets is confusing a rising market with investing skill. When almost everything is going up, even weak decisions can look smart for a while. A risky stock goes up. A hot sector keeps climbing. A fund you barely understood suddenly has a green number next to it. And the beginner brain starts connecting the wrong dots. I picked this. It went up, so I must know what I am doing. That feeling is powerful. It is also dangerous because it can make you increase risk at the exact moment when you should be tightening your process. Imagine a new investor named Alex. Alex starts small, maybe a broad index fund, maybe a few individual stocks, maybe a little money every month because investing finally feels important. At first, Alex is careful. He reads more. He asks basic questions. He thinks about risk. He knows he is new. Then the market starts rising. The broad fund goes up. The stock he picked goes up even more. A friend talks about a bigger gain. Social media is full of screenshots. Every day there seems to be another stock, another theme, another sector that everyone says is obvious. Now Alex has a problem, but it does not feel like a problem. His first decisions worked, so the careful version of Alex starts disappearing. He checks prices more often. The boring fund feels too slow. Diversification starts feeling like something that holds him back. A position that was supposed to be small becomes bigger because it keeps winning. Then he adds more. Not because the investment still fits a plan, but because he does not want to miss the next move. This is how a bull market trains bad habits. In a falling market, risk is easy to see. Red numbers make risk obvious. Fear makes you pause. Losses force you to ask hard questions. But in a rising market, risk can hide behind confidence. The same behavior that would look reckless in a bad market can look brilliant in a good one. Chasing recent winners looks like being decisive. Ignoring position size looks like having conviction. Buying because everyone is talking about it looks like being informed. Taking more risk after a win looks like learning faster. And slowly, the investor stops asking the most important question. Not, can this go up? Almost anything can go up for a while. The better question is, does this still fit my plan if the market stops rewarding everything? That is where many beginners get trapped. They do not fail because they are optimistic. They fail because optimism replaces process. A bull market does not only raise prices, it lowers your standards. That is the key idea. Before the bull market, you might ask, what is this investment? How risky is it? How much should I own? What role does it play in my portfolio? After a few fast wins, the question can quietly become, how much could I make if this keeps going? That shift feels small, but it changes everything. Because now your portfolio is no longer built around your goals. It is built around the feeling of not wanting to be left behind. And fear of missing out is not a strategy. It is an emotion wearing a strategy costume. Investor education resources often talk about asset allocation, diversification, and rebalancing for a reason. These ideas sound simple, sometimes even boring, but they exist because markets do not reward the same behavior in every season. Asset allocation means deciding how your money is divided between different types of investments, based on things like your time horizon and risk tolerance. Diversification means not depending on one company, one sector, one theme, or one idea to carry your entire future. Rebalancing means bringing the portfolio back toward its intended mix when some parts grow faster than others. The strange part is that rebalancing can feel wrong in a bull market. If your hottest investment keeps going up, trimming it or adding money somewhere else can feel like punishing success. But that is exactly why the rule matters. Without a rule, the market decides your risk level for you. You may begin with a balanced portfolio, but after a long run, One winning area can become a much larger piece of your money. On the screen, it looks like progress. In reality, it may be concentration. And concentration feels wonderful until it does not. This is the difference between skill and tailwind. If 5 boats move forward because the tide is rising, every captain can feel talented. But the tide did not prove who had a good route. It only proved the water was moving in the right direction. Investing skill is not just making money when the market is helping you. Investing skill is having a process that still makes sense when the market is no longer flattering you. So when you make money in a bull market, do not only ask, "How much did I make?" Ask better questions. Did I understand the investment before buying it? Was the position size reasonable before it went up? Would I still be comfortable owning it if it dropped sharply? Did this decision fit my time horizon? Or did I buy it because everyone was excited? Did my portfolio become more aligned with my goals? Or just more dependent on the latest winner? These questions do not remove risk. Investing always involves risk, but they help you separate a repeatable process from a lucky environment. Now, this does not mean a new investor should be frozen by caution. That is the other mistake. Some people hear warnings about bull markets and decide the answer is to wait forever. They say, "I will start when prices come down," then prices rise more. Then they wait for a crash. Then the crash comes and feels too scary. Then they wait again. That is not a plan either. The goal is not to predict the perfect moment. The goal is to build rules that stop the market mood from controlling your behavior. Here is a simple bull market rulebook for beginners. First, write the reason before you buy. Not a long essay, just one clear sentence. I am buying this because it gives me broad exposure. I am buying this because I want a small satellite position in this theme. I am buying this because it fits my monthly investing plan. If the reason is everyone is talking about it, that is not research. That is social proof. Second, decide the position size before the position goes up. This matters because gains can change your emotions. A small experimental position that doubles can make you feel like it deserves more money. Maybe it does, maybe it does not. But the decision should come from a rule, not from excitement. For example, you might decide that no individual stock can become more than a certain percentage of your portfolio, or that speculative ideas stay small, or that your core long-term fund always remains the largest part of the account. The exact rule depends on the investor. The important part is having the rule before the market starts tempting you. Third, keep a target allocation. If you are a beginner, this does not need to be complicated. It can be as simple as separating core long-term holdings from smaller experimental positions. The core is the part designed to survive your emotions. The experimental part is where you learn, but where a mistake will not destroy the plan. Without that separation, every exciting idea starts competing with your future. Fourth, rebalance on a schedule or threshold. This does not mean trading every week. In fact, too much activity can create its own problems. But you need some way to check whether your portfolio still looks like the portfolio you intended to own. Maybe you review it every 6 or 12 months. Maybe you review when one part moves far away from its target. The point is not the exact method in this draft. The point is that you do not let a bull market quietly redesign your risk. Fifth, use a cooling off period for hot ideas. If you see an investment idea online and feel an urgent need to act immediately, that urgency is information. It tells you your emotions are involved. A waiting period does not mean you never buy. It means the idea has to survive a little time without the adrenaline. Can you explain what the investment does? Can you find reliable information outside the person promoting it? Do you understand the main risk? Do you know how much you are willing to lose if you are wrong? If the idea only feels good while the crowd is loud, be careful. Sixth, track process, not only performance. Performance tells you what happened. Process tells you whether your decisions were any good. A beginner can make money from a bad process in a good market, and a beginner can lose money from a decent process in a bad market. That is why account balance alone is a noisy teacher. Keep a simple investing journal. Write what you bought, why you bought it, how big the position was, and what would make you change your mind. Later, when the excitement fades, you can review your actual thinking. This is how you become better, not by pretending every winning trade was genius, not by blaming every loss on bad luck, but by studying whether your decisions were consistent with your rules. The real test of a new investor in a bull market is not whether they can feel confident. Bull markets give confidence away for free. The real test is whether they can stay humble while the market is rewarding them. That humility does not mean being scared. It means remembering that early gains are not a graduation certificate. They are a training environment. If you use early gains to loosen every rule, the bull market trained you badly. If you use early gains to practice allocation, position sizing, research, patience, and rebalancing, the bull market trained you well. Same market, different lesson. So the biggest mistake new investors make in bull markets is not buying. It is not being excited. It is not wanting to build wealth. The biggest mistake is letting a rising market convince them that process no longer matters. Because if your portfolio only makes sense while everything is going up, it is not a strategy yet. It is a mood with a brokerage account. And moods are terrible portfolio managers. If you want one practical step from this video, do this before your next investment. Write down the reason, the role, the size, and the condition that would make you say no. Reason: why am I buying? Role: what job does it do in the portfolio? Size: how much is enough? No condition: what would make this a bad idea? That simple checklist can slow down the exact mistake bull markets encourage. It turns "I do not want to miss out" into "does this actually belong?" And for a new investor, that question can save a lot of future pain. In the comments, tell me one rule you use or want to use to stop yourself from chasing hype. And if this helped you think more clearly about investing, subscribe for more simple money lessons. Keep learning, keep growing your wealth, and remember, a strong market can help your portfolio, but only a strong process can help the investor behind it.